Today brought a lot of unexpected things. Saw that statue of myself. It kind of freaked me out. Made me wonder just how long I've been gone. The tower looks so old and ready to topple over. And that vampire at the top. I just keep wondering, how could they leave him there alone? Especially with that tower crumbling. He's dangerous. Has to be seeing so many things like that. And the creature itself, I thought maybe I knew what it was, but wasn't that either, and nearly got killed by it. Like I usually do, because I'm weak and I just can't do anything right. And Val nearly got killed, but at least it's dead. But I can't keep doing this. I can't keep putting myself in danger and putting other people in danger just trying to save me. Don't know what to do, but maybe I should go.
I've spent a lot of my life teetering on some kind of edge between life and death, and yet I've never seen someone come as close as Asuriel today. I'd given up. They were flying away like a horse in the sky. And, well, Lorelei fixed it, and Amrita fixed it. I couldn't, but they fixed it. So we're good. We're fine, and we're gonna go on, and I'm fine. Everything was kind of a blur up until the fight. This place is so much. It is Asuriel's life, and it's the death that's grown around it. And I don't understand, and I don't think I want to understand. There is death there, and maybe it deserves more. The spirits that linger in stone. Maybe it doesn't. They seem to have chosen their place and are afraid yet comfortable, and that's almost every time the most you can ask of a Geist. I am wondering if I should have asked more from the man at the top, though. That thing that once was a man. I might still.
Amrita and Val are the closest to the body of this creature as it hit the ground, and Asuriel alive, but just barely, trying to crawl out of its clutches as it coils up like a dead spider almost, holding on to her. The bite mark that it left is the vicious wound on the side of her shoulder, almost where that iron collar is on her neck, the only thing protecting her from having her entire throat ripped out.
All right. Amrita sort of like runs and tries to like move as best she can, like the arms off of like Asuriel's body, and like tries to like take her up in her arms a bit, but being very careful, and just like looks over like at Valerie. All right, I know this thing killed your family, and I know that this is a lot to ask, but do something for her, please.
Grabs onto his doctor's bag. Is she like actively bleeding out, or
She has failed 2 death saves due to being attacked and succeeded, I think, on 2 also. So yeah, she is not stable.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay. Yeah, then he will move over and load up a syringe as he very carefully first administers like a painkiller and healing reagents as restore 15 hit points.
Oh, nice.
What the fuck was that?
That's almost half my health.
Checks the wound, makes sure that no further blood is like gushing out right now. Tries to like check her vitals for a moment before eventually looking at Amrita.
Take this, wrap it around this. Amrita's gonna like reach in her pocket, take out like a torn piece of like her old former cloak and hand it to Val and wrap it around there and just like looks like waiting expectingly. Asuriel.
Rita, that hurt.
Don't move. It's all right. He's gonna wrap this around a cut, okay?
Hey.
As he's trying to do this with Asuriel and Amrita and Val himself clustered around the body of this creature, all of you heavily wounded, there's just a pool of blood that's just starting to trickle out from the trio. As Val, you feel a drop on your face. It's cold. It's water.
Rain jump scare.
It's just Asuriel's character. It's just like,
Cillian is still up on this ledge, 15 or 20 feet up from the rest, looking down on this scene now, with the two clerics a little further off, but can easily approach.
Yeah, Lorelei is running over pretty much immediately.
I think the cloud rod is sort of getting to Cillian, and he stays away for a bit and just tries to not get sick while he just watches from afar.
There's no thunder or signs of lightning. It's just the Stensian clouds have opened up. It's not a heavy rain, but it is large drops.
Linger for a moment, looking up as like one of the first droplets hit his face, and for but a moment, like linger in this brief moment of respite as he closes his eyes for a moment to just take in the rain before eventually letting out a deep breath and turning around to assess everybody's wounds, because damn, they do get fucked up.
How difficult is it to climb this ledge, by the way?
I mean, do you have any rock climbing skills or tools?
No, I don't know
Then
how they got
it'll be basically impossible to I mean, it's doable, but gonna take a long time to try to shimmy
Yeah, I
up,
just want to get to the others. I don't know where exactly.
Oh, you're on ground level.
We're on the ground level.
Yeah.
Killing
okay,
is
yeah,
the only one
shit.
that's
Yeah,
up
that's all.
high.
I'm
Yeah,
up.
that's all I needed.
If that was just, I'll put you guys back.
I thought like the monster and the Asuriel were like up on the ledge, and somehow Amrita and Valid got to
No,
him
because they
somehow.
fell down last time from
Just
the
floated up.
sky.
Yeah, they
So,
plummeted.
yeah. But yeah, I think Amrita, like, there's obviously burns on her arm, but she just motions Val away. No, just check the others. Just figure out where they are at. It's fine. I'll try to hold her up so her head's up.
Looking at her, squints for a moment, not in like a annoyed way, but more in a like concerned manner as he shakes his head. And how far away are Lorelei and Acrio right now?
Lorelei, I believe, had run up to the group to make sure everyone was okay. Acrio probably 30, 40 feet off.
Okay, then Val will gesture for Acrio to move in as well, looking for Cillian to see where he's at, like if you can spot him up there.
Yeah. Do we
Yeah.
see Cillian? Where is he?
Oh yeah, I'm sitting with my legs over the edge.
Is he
sort of-
still near to where my night terror was? Just hanging out with the weird Lorelei
sort of
clone.
looking over my
Hello.
back. No, I think you can. When a drunk person is just about to vomit, that's sort of what he's looking like right now.
Val needs him down here, so he'll motion for Cillian as well. Try to see if he's capable of doing that right now.
Yeah, I'm coming down. Just a bit dizzy. Yeah, and I'll start to climb down.
Once everybody's like huddled together more or less, I will do a new thing that I can do, which is hatch up. So
I thought when you do that new thing, that acrobatics came up, and I thought that was what you were doing. And it's like when everyone shows up, it's like punch
Backflip.
me, and he just
Backflip,
backflips away.
I get back
What
now,
did I
guys.
You do have the tower is only a couple minutes walk away. You haven't gone down this trail too far, so I mean, with the rain coming in,
Okay, so
It might
it's easy enough to
be difficult to do,
Okay.
a real procedure in the dark, in the rain.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Finding
fair.
some shelter might be a good idea first.
Val will just, I guess, help everybody up, usher them towards the tower. Like his
He
expression
says
is
at
like,
one hit point. It's like, I'll help you up.
Yeah.
As he
Yeah.
stumbles
worry,
forward
that's
and tries to
just
catch
my
himself on a
organs
boulder with his
bleeding
arm.
out. But he's trying to get everybody into sort of shelter so that he can do his thing.
Yeah, Amrita looks at the body of the beast for a moment, but like looks down at Asuriel, tries to just like pick her up, just take her in the arms. I got you, all right? Just hold still.
I'm alright. I think I'm good enough to walk now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Just gonna gently just put her down and wait till like she stands officially.
Lorelei's standing a few feet away, like with the spotting, ready in case she drops.
Yeah, she'll get back on her feet with some difficulty. She's holding her neck. That seems to be the biggest area of pain, otherwise her legs seem pretty fine.
It's dead, we got it. I got it with my last arrow. Lorelei shot at it, it's dead.
Yeah, no thanks to me. But that's okay as long as it can't hurt anyone else.
Do you think its body will stay here?
I think it needs to be... I'm going to take something from it, and then I think the rest of the body needs to be disposed of. I can burn it.
I can decompose it.
Alright, just let me collect, because I think this
what
stuff is important. Just...
Yeah, get what you need.
I'll slap some guidance on Amrita.
Yeah, Amrita's gonna go over and try to reach in like a part of like one of her pockets, and she doesn't have shoes because she's barefoot, but blood is down just everywhere and everything, including her own neck, but she ignores it for the moment, and she's going to try and get some blood off the creature and maybe cut a piece from it and wrap it up and then burn the rest of it. Or Lorelei will decompose it.
Burn with
she'll decompose it, but
from the rain, but
what do I need to roll to collect some blood and stuff from it?
I assume you're doing this to like study with alchemy?
Yes.
I'll have you make an alchemy tools check using your dexterity.
Okay.
While she's doing this, I'm sort of looking. Now it's close to us and dead in the ground before us. Is this thing like stitched together? Does it feel mutated? Does it feel born? Is this like something?
Cillian, I'll have you make a nature check.
Yes.
Does it have like a little maker's mark
Amrita
on
is
its
going
ass?
through. You can get a sample of some of the hair with Asuriel's guidance. Also, cut off maybe one of the fingers from the right arm that was still like an actual arm. Get a sample of some of the blood after you make sure it's not just, somebody else's blood, Asuriel's that was all over it. Get some, open up an actual vein within it and bleed some out into a vial. Maybe collect a tooth. Try to study that as well. Cillian, you don't find any stitch marks, like this thing is a scab that's been composited together. Looking over at Amrita's shoulder as she's working, or is he like getting into it also?
No, I think he's only looking from the places Amrita's sort of revealing.
You can kind of be
he wants to
holding
get in her
your
way.
hooded lantern over to give her some light while also looking it over it. This creature is massive, almost seems bigger than the first time you encountered it by a little bit, maybe not too much, although that may slightly be related to it having consumed an angel's blood just recently. While it definitely seemed to feed on flesh and blood in a vampiric nature, this thing doesn't look like any vampire you've ever encountered. It's monstrous in comparison, and the best you can say is it was something that was changed into something else, and not gracefully either.
I think I was right. Seems made with a capital M.
Certainly not normal. I'll be able to gauge more when I can examine the blood. Now isn't the time for that. I'm just collecting it. Alright, I think I got everything. Lorelei, you can take care of it.
Last call if anyone wants a piece of the thing.
I know enough.
Okay. And she will decompose it. And just let the earth reclaim it.
That blackened shade of Lorelei that she had summoned from a sliver of her nightmares, standing up on the ledge within the shadows of the trees, hadn't even been seen before, but just that gray flicker in her eye watches as you do this. The creature's body seemed to decompose rather quickly, like it was on the edge of rot anyway. These grows and tiers of various fungi form on it. The skin starts to like flake off like ash almost immediately. And I don't know if you've ever seen where a corpse has laid on the ground for a long time, but it almost blackens the earth. That happens almost immediately.
That's gross.
And of course, the buildup of gases released
Exploding
has
too.
a putrid smell.
Ugh.
Let's
All right, enough of this thing for a fucking lifetime. Let's go.
All right.
Usually things decompose a lot more gracefully than that.
But yeah, if we're walking back to the tower, I think Amrita will walk behind, but like she will motion Val for a second to speak with him in a more private setting. But I'd imagine Lorelei or Cillian would probably, I don't know, maybe still be nearby or something. Might I have a word, Valerie?
Pauses as he's dragging himself along, genuinely surprised. Takes him a moment as he just looks at Amrita, but eventually just...
We'll follow
I
them
sent
closely behind.
I sent Reagan to Val to say, if she's a twat again, we'll just talk about it afterwards.
Looks at like sudden voice coming out of nowhere, waits for Amrita to speak her mind.
She waits till the others walk a little bit ahead, but they're like not too far behind, but like walking slowly and everything. I have to say, you are a peculiar individual for someone to risk their life to go to such lengths to enter a dangerous mountain range with a creature such as that. And yet you also still survived 2 vampires, which I have to say is unusual, but you have spilt a lot of blood here today, so I must say I find that, in a sense, respectable to an extent. But I must still say some things. I've never hated you. There's just an indifference that I think will never go away. But I want you to understand why. Ever since I've gotten to Stensia, I have witnessed a near genocide of so many people in 2 different towns. So many adults, children, dead. And there are many other people where it is no different. And it is easier to move on and go through times. But I feel as though, perhaps, we can at least be decent acquaintances. And I appreciate what you did for Asuriel, because she really needed it the most. And there was a letter that I'm not a person that's usually insulted by things. And you probably don't even remember that you wrote that letter back in Silburn, because you weren't there when Cillian read it. There are just things about me that I would just rather not ever share with you, and I hope you can understand that from my point of view.
Writes down, looking up at Amrita for a moment. Before, his expression was sort of guarded, stiff, almost hardened to an extent, but as he went on, it sort of softened to his usual demeanor. As he writes,
You might have to wait to write.
Yeah, how difficult
and you have one hand and you're walking.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have a writing implement set up.
Val would just look at her for a moment then and reach out, not sure if, Amrita will allow that, but just very gingerly touch her arm for a moment, sort of let her know that it's all right. He doesn't particularly mind. He does still care, even though, she was sort of a bitch to him previously. The building hostility or resentment is undermined by that speech and almost washes away like the dirt with the rain. Looks back at the others moving on.
Amrita will hold out her hand as well. Shake on it then.
He reaches out his hand and gently shakes her hand.
If you do more expressions like this, I think it will benefit you more. And perhaps, Amrita looks at the back of Cillian for a moment. He could teach you a trick or two. Probably a whistle as a code. Might serve you when you cannot write.
Question, can Val still whistle with his...
I mean, yeah, as long as you can blow through your lips.
Cool.
Yeah, his lips aren't
just
torn
making
off.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
He couldn't hum, but yeah, he could whistle.
Yeah, okay, cool. Then looks at the rest of the party, and there's this very faint, sort of distant, but still happy smile on his face as he just nods, motions for her to, follow.
Yep, and she does so.
I think Cillian would hear as Reagan returns from that. I don't think I'll ever understand that one.
Which one?
Either.
Yeah, tend to agree. Are we reaching the tower? I'm pretty sure it was close.
Yep.
Before everyone enters, I just want to take a moment to stand in the rain, look at the sky, and scream "We're alive!" down the valley, just to sort of celebrate the moment.
Zoom did not like that.
No, I didn't. Just cut it out. I was like,
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, it was just nope, cutting all that out.
We got what you said, but the middle exclamation, it was just
glitch out,
I
it
didn't
just
scream.
cut off the volume.
It was just afraid I would.
Thunder crashing as he's screaming that, hiding half of it.
Dramatic timing on Zoom's part.
But yeah, the sound of it echoes through this mountainside that's where this tower is built up against across the river. And yeah, you can go in. The tower itself feels, at peace is the wrong word, but definitely still. There's not that sense of apprehension you had when you first entered, trying to find this thing. It's like the tower itself has almost died with it to an extent.
As soon as everybody inside, Val will motion for someone to place a lantern down, and he'll get to work. Goes around, he's basically checking up on everybody, assessing their wounds, bandaging up anything that was injured, setting stitches, administering painkillers if necessary. He's making sure that everybody's tended to as best as possible in these circumstances. And
Don't be shy.
I am going to use one patch up, which
Isn't
everybody...
injured. I think she's going around and being just an extra pair of hands for Val if he needs just someone to hold something.
Yeah, everybody restores half their max HP plus 4.
Acrio cast
27.
8. That's like an 8-hour spell, right? Is that still around?
Yeah.
And would that mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not a concentration thing, so yeah. Because that increased your hit points maximum, yeah, you will include that.
Okay, so half and then 4 with it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and 4
Okay,
with
so
it on
Half
top.
plus
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
That gets me back up to full.
Nice.
Let's go.
How is
Acrio
Acrio doing with his
Acrio is not there. While everyone was busy checking themselves, Acrio just picked up one of the lantern left by itself and just disappeared off towards the cart again, while everybody was very occupied making sure they weren't dead.
I think as everybody's reconvened and gone into the tower and Val is beginning his work over everyone, that's when becomes apparent, wait a second, we're short one.
That fucking asshole! How dare he! How fucking dare he! Go get him, Lorelei, now! He doesn't deserve to walk away now! When he ran away from us! Go get him!
First of all,
What's going on?
you don't get to talk to him like that.
I don't? He
No.
left me to die.
No, he didn't.
I'll go find him.
I'll go
I
get
can-
him. I'll go get him.
Ugh.
This needs a gentle touch. It seems that none of you have that right now.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm gonna go-
going.
I
I'm gonna-
didn't
and I'm
say
gonna go look.
anything.
Yeah, but Amrita, you just don't have a gentle touch. In general.
Yeah.
I'll go get him. Just you stay here, and I don't need any medical attention, so it's fine. And I will go out looking for Acrio. I will
Lorelei has been
cast...
tended to yet?
I didn't take any damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, when Lorelei leaves, like there's like a look that I think Cillian would see on Amrita's face. Just confusion in that moment, but she just shakes her head. I look over, like at Cillian. That was pretty high up in the air with the rope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got burns.
Val just nods like, yep, they're definitely rope burns.
Oh, I knew what I was getting into.
You look dope when you were on the thing, strangling it. Vaughn.
Well, it was the only way to probably get it down, but...
Yeah, I was not heavy enough. I had this, fantasy in my head of, stepping behind a rock and, keeping it down, but, yeah, didn't really work out.
You know what? There's something that on my mind, but... She's gonna, look over at Valerie, Asuriel, but, back at Cillian. Something I could tell you now, but I think it's just something I should just tell you in private.
Val just looking at Asuriel, gestures as it holds Asuriel up a bit. Just like, we can go outside to give you some privacy.
Or upstairs.
Yeah, or upstairs. Yeah, exactly.
Or they could go upstairs.
Or that.
Listen.
Down in the basement,
I mean, there's...
I never mind being alone with you.
There.
Just for a moment. We'll be back.
You got it. I'm free to go, Dr. Val.
Makes it clear to just not to overexert yourself. Don't strain yourself.
Hey, nothing like that, Val, you dirty mind.
He doesn't quite understand for a moment.
Don't get the heart rate too high.
And then, his entire face just goes red. Quickly looks down. It's like, oh, no.
Gerald still definitely looks confused, but she seems to be very quiet right now.
We'll go upstairs. What's up?
Rita stands there for a moment thinking, and she forgets the statues almost over there, but it's oh, angels, that's really disturbing. All right, so I've been meaning to tell you this for a while, and after speaking with Lorelei, and given where we are now, and how reckless you can be.
That's so?
Yeah. I not only know about the Vaporwave, but I know about Oblivion as well. I've known before since going to Shadowgrange. And I didn't say anything sooner because, well, I have my reasons. But
right.
The deal was with Sir Lane specifically, because he had helped me with some stuff in the past, and he's very knowledgeable about things of that nature. I would owe him a favor in return, but he's supposed to get back with me, but he might be able to help you.
Owing a favor to the vampire, it's a lot more manageable than what I was going to do. So,
What were you going to do?
Thank you. Well, there's a fucker upstairs who could probably, change me into one. They have this awesome privilege of not dying. I'm turning into a pale motherfucker anyway, so, seemed fitting. Easy patch solution.
I would disagree with you on that, but I only say that because I know of people that have despised of what has happened to them when they cannot control it.
Oh, I got it. I would have it, And imagine how cool we would look, vampire, werewolf fighting side by side. But no, I get it. It was a stupid idea anyway, and I just, I spoke to my dad recently, what's left of him. I sort of promised him that I wouldn't stop looking, and I didn't know where to look, because my family's been looking for centuries. We haven't found anything. So I thought, just don't die. I know that'll be fine, but if someone would know, it would be them. It would be people who've been alive for maybe longer than the Vaporwave has.
It's your decision, though. but I wanted to tell you that. I would have told you sooner, but... Yeah, she doesn't say anything, but definitely something off in the moment with just like a tone that's probably something he's picked up on.
I get close enough so I can see your face well in the dark.
There's a flicker of the lantern light coming up the stairs, just enough to barely make out the edges of her face.
Is it true you pulled the eye out?
Yeah.
Why?
You seem to be dying. And I didn't want that. And I don't think you deserve any more control over you. And I've seen that thing looking at me. And I just didn't want it in you anymore. Listen, Amrita, I know what you said, but you know what? I hate not associating with you. And I'm always going to wait for your permission, but I deserve more. And it doesn't have to be now, but please. The worst I'm ever going to do to you is hurt your feelings. And if I'm too much, fine, I'll fuck off or something, but know that I don't want that.
I think we should go back downstairs. But maybe if you give me a moment on a different watch and a different time when we're not here, maybe I will be wanting to talk about something, but I don't know. I'm just still kind of upset with you, and I don't understand why, and I cannot figure it out.
Well, me neither. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
She starts to walk back down the stairs real quick, but she'll just like stops and say for a moment, you also sang a little bit of the melody, didn't you? You want to know the last thing I saw when you did that?
Please.
I was around a fire, I recall. And I saw my father. Dad is another term for father in Kessig. I hadn't seen them.
I know.
I was finally at peace in a way. So thank you.
Don't run too far, little blue-eyed girl.
Don't tell the others that.
Motion in the darkness.
That's it. Lorelei, can I have you make a survival check, please?
Yeehaw! Not good at it, but I have power with them. Ooh, okay. Go crazy, Lorelei, go stupid.
Yep. Lorelei, you pass the corpse of this creature, still unmoving in this light rain, in this blackened midnight. How is she lighting her way?
With the light cantrip.
Dagger, yeah.
Yeah, light dagger.
A light with this grayish, almost dead light. It's not difficult to make out the heavy boot prints left by Acrio. As the path has turned to a bit of mud, they're not deep, but they are sullen. And after a moment, you catch the flicker of his hooded lantern off in the distance, back the direction you had come past the waterfall and the path that led back to the main Needle's Eye Pass.
Still with her light held aloft, she's gonna pretty much sprint over, like gather up her skirt and cloak in one hand just to stop it trailing through the mud, and just run with a knife up. That'll go well.
Fucking
Make a deck save.
Trick and get you in the juggler.
What have you got there?
Put your own eye out.
It's either nat 1 crits herself or nat 20 crits Acrio.
Yeah, as she's running over, she's like, I think breathless, because I don't imagine running through mud is particularly easy. I haven't done it.
It hasn't gotten like a deep mud, it's just the very surface of the ground is, starting to get slick.
Yeah.
But you do have to run and leap across those stones that Acrio had raised from the riverbed so that you could cross the underside of the waterfall in that basin before it trickles down the rest of the mountain.
And she stops
that's a little bit hazardous.
Yeah. And she gets up, I think, like 10 feet away. She will just stop and still stand there for a second. Acrio?
His hammers just, like, in addition to the boot prints, probably, like, a very large square path is carved into the mud as he just drags the stone of his hammer through it, and that's resting by his side as he turns back around without his helmet or his hat on, just like all the curls in his face. Just defeated look.
Val's treating everybody. And I know you're hurt as well. Come back.
I don't think I should.
A single moment of weakness isn't going to define everything, Acrio. The fact that you even feel like this is already saying a huge amount.
They were dying. I was fine. You were fine. And I wanted to run.
And I wanted to go with you. I'm just as at fault here as you.
Any other time, I would have fought to the end, but just seeing everybody dying around us. I didn't run because I was scared for myself. I was scared that you would be next. And I was fine with throwing my own life at things, but I can't bring myself to throw your life away.
Why mine?
Steps through the mud, leaving the hammer behind. And he just rests his hand on the side of her arm. And rather than say anything, he just pulls her into a hug while audibly sobbing on her shoulder.
She'll like full on like wrap her arms around him, like, and like get her cloak as well and drape it over his head just to try and mitigate some of the rain. It's already far gone by now, but she's kind of like shield them both from the rain with her cloak. You're a good man, Acrio. You're a wonderful, strong, good-hearted man, and I can't let you feel ashamed for what you did. I can't.
Then, and he pulls away slightly just to look at her. Then from here on out, we can't fight for ourselves. Or all of Innistrad. Maybe it's worth fighting for each other as well. I'll do everything I can to keep you safe.
I'll protect you with my life, Acrio.
Lorelei, you can kind of realize that while Acrio has gone to put his arms around you, his right arm still seems to be more limp. Like his hand doesn't really seem to be clutching you at all. It's like draped almost.
Yeah, she's gonna pull away and like look at it, sort of prop it up.
Immediately flinch as
Sorry,
the bone gets pushed.
You've got to stop. We've got to put this arm in a cast or something. You've really got to stop hurting this one.
Just a bit of bad luck, I guess.
Well, let's see if Val's any good with these. Come on. You really need patching up.
Yeah. And he'll grab his hammer, walk back to Lorelei, and less grab, like, clutch her hand and more just hold on to, like, her wrist while his thumb runs over her forearm.
All right, Mr. Darcy, calm down.
What does that mean?
I've been watching too many period dramas. Hand touching is basically sex.
Lorelei might be pregnant right now.
Cut to 3 years later, they got a farmhouse and 2 kids.
That's currently flashing through her head right now. It's just like, oh, the flash of just, oh god, wife and kid scenario.
As soon as that vision hits your mind, Lorelei, you remember your little farmhouse growing up, set on the hill with this, simple livestock, mostly pigs, and then the realization in your gut that Willow Grange may still be occupied by an undead force.
Sort of as that very happy thought gets taken over by the not so happy, she tenses up a bit and her And a breath catches.
Yeah, rather than say anything, he just entwines his still gauntleted fingers with hers. Actually, no, he'd have taken his gauntlets off, so...
You whore. Gloves off on the first hand holding. Yes, we will head back. And Lorelei, when they get back to the tower, she walks ahead just a little bit of Acrio, like still sort of linked hands with him, but like she's stepping forward a bit in like a shielding way. And when they walk in, she's like eyeing the room for Cillian, waiting to see if he's gonna start his bullshit when we get back in.
As you come in, I sort of hide something I was working on, and then you sit there. Hey!
I want nothing out of you, mister.
What? No, I was angry for a second, and then I shouted it out, and then I'm fine again.
Okay.
You should try that.
Amrita walks over, but like there's a calmness about her, and she will put a hand on like Acrio's other shoulder, looks at him. I just want you to know, in an instance such as this, Cathars, when it comes to things that are abominations, monsters in Innistrad, they are not made for fighting them. I would rather you have ran than have died in that moment, because that is what my job is. Hunting monsters, killing them. It's a risky game. But not for Cathars or members of the church that try to protect families and children. Your profession is different than mine, and it is not something you are used to, so I do not blame you for that. Let it be clear. Acrio Revito backs off after that and goes and sits back down next to Cillian.
Lorelei is letting go of Acrio's hand, and it's like very obvious.
Asuriel's glancing back over her shoulder very furtively before curling up and turning her back to everyone.
So are we sleeping here? Because I want to sleep.
Suppose we need it.
I don't know, do you know of a tavern down the road?
Don't forget, you guys promised to lay a
Help the
geist
gargoyle.
to blessed sleep in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Acrio disappears.
No. No! You are not having a pet golem on the cart. You're not having a pet golem on the cart.
If anyone needs to sleep, I'll stay awake. I'm not really tired.
Before we sleep, though, that geist upstairs.
Help me remember.
He was in the gargoyle. He was like, and he didn't want to be let out, and he was like into the thing.
Yes, and you promised to at least try to have blessed sleep for the soul.
Because he said he was under the control of that creature. Now that creature's dead, I wonder where he is. Cillian, can you...
Still there.
Because if you can find him and we can establish some kind of connection, I can probably at least try and send him off.
Yeah, I went sort of... There's here, and there's a place I sometimes go to, and I was there during that.
Oh.
It's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, I can talk to geists. I'm just afraid it will happen again.
Okay. Is there something we should do if it does?
No, I mean, I'll just go a bit slackjaw, I think.
Okay.
That'll be fine.
All we need to do is just find that geist. What was his name? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like my...
It remembered its name.
Yeah, it didn't.
Cyril named him Gary. That was about it.
That was it.
Yeah. How long's it been here? Did he say?
Couldn't really tell.
Yeah, since he died.
Time is a weird nebulous thing to something that's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so listen. After a while, things start to sort of bleed together for guys. They don't exist and exist at the same time. They don't sort of have full control over what they're doing. It's a strange, weird, treading bare ground, but I can try. I've talked to geists.
I mean, if you can't find it, I'll just walk in there and turn the undead anyway, just to see if they're there. Or I could probably advise at the grave. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very tired. I will Eyes of the Grave while we're up there and see if I can spot any geistulous beings that way. If Cillian doesn't notice anything.
Val is motioning Acrio to move over so that he can, for one, patch him up and assess his wounds.
In which he doesn't have a lot, but his arm is broken. It's very odd. Like, he looks in good condition. No cuts, bruises, or anything. It's just his arm is slumped at his side, very obviously.
You make a medicine check, Val.
Yes, and just for mechanics, any HP lost, you restore half of your max HP plus 4. So.
I gain 2 HP.
Hey.
I swear though, Acrio's arm, is that his Achilles heel? Was he dunked into the river Styx, but only held by his arm so it didn't get covered?
You have to take off the splint armor, some of the pauldron, pull back the gambeson and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Val, you can easily tell there doesn't appear to be any break or fracture in the bone necessarily, although that was the way Acrio perceived it.
Mm-hmm.
What it appears happened is these bats that got in under his armor entirely were tearing at the place where his arm had been reconnected, and while it's not completely disconnected, that alchemical binding has started to wane and will need to be patched up.
Ugh. Oh, it's worse. Oh god, it's so much worse. I thought my arm was just a little numb.
The thermal paste in your arm is melting.
Know if the binding will hold, or if he has to do keep it on for now by doing major stitches. Otherwise, the arm is gonna come off.
Now it won't pop off. The bone is in fact intact. You can press on it and push against.
Yeah, but
it's the bone itself is resealed. So,
okay.
But yeah, you're probably gonna need to stitch flesh back up and.
Yeah, Val is just gonna
surgery.
Load up a syringe with just painkillers and just hit Acrio with that. Make sure that their arm is numb.
Okay, Acrio doesn't get a crippling addiction to painkillers. Perfect.
And
Yet.
Yet.
After, making sure that the arm is numb, he begins stitching the flesh back together. Very, very calmly, very focused. Acrio would probably, depending on how's the bleed edge situation, because that's the artificial, still weird arm, right?
I mean, it's his real arm. It was artificially reconnected or alchemical.
There we go. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's real flesh, and it's weird because it's not bleeding profusely. It's more like it started to coagulate or whatever. It's oozing a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Then Acrio would probably be able to pick up that balance. Occasionally, shivering. Needs a moment to collect himself as his hand trembles ever so slightly, but after a moment he swallows and continues sewing the flesh back together, getting up, indicating Acrio to put his thing back on. Actually, he would probably make him something for the arm so that he's not putting full armor on fresh stitches and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll just leave it out of armor for now. And he's not a smart man, but he does know people dumped spells into his arm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to, for the hell of it, drop a healing word on my arm, just a 2nd level spell of feel good onto my arm.
Get that angelic painkillers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The opiatum.
How does that look in this moment and manifest for Acrio as he's doing this?
Once he finished all his work and all the stitches are clean and his arm's in the cast, he thanks him, looks at it, and then just with his hand just puts it over the wound, and it starts to glow bright red. Doesn't hurt him, but as he pulls it away, where the raw flesh had been a little more connected, more so than just by stitch.
Yeah, it's still a pretty major injury. Takes some time in addition to just spot healing. We'll spot weld, but
Yeah, just I got this. Okay, you're good to go.
Can he get a welding attachment for his mask, like a welding visor?
that actually would be kind of cool.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
different flip down masks.
Yeah, he just like different place.
As that is happening, Cillian and Lorelei heading upstairs past the statue of Asuriel onto the floor where you had left this gargoyle. The statue seems to be in place, still crumbling and somewhat broken from when you guys had attacked it, but completely stationary at this point. Lorelei, if you're using Eyes of the Grave, it's still difficult to perceive anything that might be...
It was like inside the stone, wasn't it?
Inside, but from the cracks in the stone, you see almost this black, wispy, undead nature percolating there.
How do I perceive this?
It's more of a feeling. You don't really see anything, but just like there is something dead here. Almost can't even identify a specific direction, but beyond the familiar geists, there's still just that feeling of another presence.
So, hi there. Welcome
Hello.
to the road forward, known as me. My name's Cillian. You've lucked out, my friend. You've lucked out. You found me. And I have found many, and many like you. Now, this might sound like I'm expecting something of you. No, not too much. Of course, not too much. Would you just answer a few questions for me? That'd be lovely. Are you okay with that?
You live. Where is the master?
Well, not really around anymore. Decomposing in the rain. Or do you mean the thing upstairs?
Ask your questions.
Is there something that makes you happy? It doesn't have to exist.
And now, so far, so foolish.
That you remember the feeling.
At one time, I was a lover of coin, seeker of wealth. So foolish.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you. It's a vice that many men fall for. But not a too strange one anyway, in a world where you can thrive on it. I ain't nothing to be afraid of. I just want you to remember lucking out that one time.
The glint, the light on the gold, the feeling of the metal. Lorelei, you can't even hear this. You still see it, but like Cillian on that border ethereal, you see this geist-like hand. It's like it almost appears draped in some dark cloth, or maybe it's made of it. It's hard to tell, but it turns over as if it's clutching something.
Okay. It is a strange love, but it is still a love. Listen, the first thing my friends have talked to you, you're a geist, you're aware. Most aren't.
I was set to wander, but I found this vessel, and I found peace, as it is.
Is it peace, or did you just finally halt?
It is solitude.
Is feelings and what you wanted, what you yearned for, what you feel like you needed, all sort of fade away most of the time, and that's nothing to be afraid of. It doesn't matter what you were or where you came from. It matters where you go now. You deserve more than stone. Trust me. Now, I asked you that first question because if you didn't remember anything you loved, guys that don't remember how to love know only how to take away that. Know only how to take away love, and I don't think you want that. You've brought a friend, someone you've spoken to, or at least spoken near, I think she can, if she wants to, help you. I can as well, just might take a little longer.
Is help the dead.
You know, I think I was born to wander across fields. I know there's a lot of horribleness here, but there's also something that can be very beautiful, that can shine like gold. And I implore you that if you are bound to wander again, try to find something you love again.
Maybe make either a persuasion or an arcana check.
I'll throw I think I still have one. Oh, we earned one. Yeah, I'll throw a hero point on that.
Sure. The wonder is only to blackness, fall into void. I cannot feel fields I walk across. Cannot hear the rain, I know it's coming. If you glimmer, and he like reaches out for your face. If you shine, put me to sleep.
Okay. We can. The last moments before you go, there has been something, and unfortunately you've forgotten it. But there's a strange thing about transitions. It is very magically powerful. I've learned that a long time ago, and I think in those last seconds you might remember something you loved. Because you didn't love coin. You needed it. That isn't love. You will remember that you love. Hold it for that wonderful second and sleep. I turn to Lorelei. I think my skin has been fading during this conversation, and as I turn to Lorelei and sort of force that connection away, it starts to materialize again. He's been gone a while. He just wants to rest. No, I can't hear you.
I just hope this is fine. I hope it's comfortable.
I can guide it. I've done many of these.
And Lorelei would just sit in the middle of the floor.
I don't have a lot of my stuff, but I have some.
Yeah, Lorelei will sit in the middle of the floor. She will clasp a holy symbol, and I feel like when she turns undead in this moment, you know that feeling when you like turn off the television or something, or like turn off the sound, and it's like that weird, heavy silence. That's what I feel like fills the room, sort of emanating from her in this moment.
Does she say anything to Bruna, the source of her power that she knows is an archangel whose entire mission for as long as she has existed has been to ward and bring the dead to sleep?
Yeah, as this silence is permeating, she will whisper into it. We're sending another one. Please, take care of him.
I want to call my family to me. There's most that will witness this, and I will ask them to carry him.
There's not a physical, even metaphysical movement per se, but Cillian's Geist being not immune to the turn undead, but not the focus of it in this moment, surround this statue, this gargoyle, this grotesque thing that became the vessel for someone's spirit. And as Lorelei is saying this, it's like a humming that goes silent over time. There's just the soul within. It's not like it fizzles out of existence, but just becomes quiet. Whatever chaotic energy that was keeping it restless has been quelled. You're not sure if it's still in the stone or returned to whatever remnants of its body there were. You're not sure, but it's just as though it has, well, gone to sleep.
I think that worked.
Yeah. Been a while since I did that. Feels good. Sometimes there's enough there to let them wander on for a bit to rediscover something needed to sleep.
There's a lot of people I'm going to need to put to sleep at some point, and if I can reach them, I'm not going to be able to send them off with as swelling of a speech as that. Would you maybe?
Always.
Thank you. There's a lot of people that need sending off that I used to know. Still wandering somewhere.
I haven't done before 3 years ago, a few months ago, I didn't do much good, but the good I did was this. I can. Don't worry.
And she leans in a little bit. And I don't want you saying a fucking word to Acrio negatively, okay? You got your anger out, that's great, but I don't want it ever.
Yeah,
I don't want
we're fine.
any sass. I'm watching you.
Oh, no, you can't take sass from me. I'll just don't give him anger.
Okay, fine. Just... He told me why he was gonna run. And... You can't be angry at him for that. Don't give me that look.
It sounded like you were going to spill some tea. I'm sorry.
Fine. He said he didn't want to run because, well, he didn't want me to get hurt. So he wanted to run with me.
That's the cutest. Oh my god.
And then we hugged in the rain. I know.
Oh. Yes, you're doing something. All right, great. If you took this, then no anger is left to me anymore.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't going to
get mother's cloak to shield them.
It's romantic. Shush. Something borrowed and something blue.
Oh, by the way, I finished something I made for you. Hold on.
Wait. Back up. You made for me.
Mm-hmm. Felt like you were missing something, so I made you these. I hold them up, and I finished the just black nice one while ago, and what I did while she was searching for Acrio was add when you put the hands together, a small silver thread line that goes all the way across, mimicking her guiding bolt. And in the palm of her... Is she right-handed or left-handed? What would she use to cast summoning?
Lefty.
In the palm of her left hand, there's 2 pairs of wings, one upwards, which are Asuriel's, and one downwards. Or just I guess one wing and one small thing. Just sort of as a big achievement across it.
Lorelei just stands there with her hands over her mouth like you just killed a puppy in front of her. It's genuinely, it looks like you've just done a deplorable thing, like she's welling up.
Oh, fuck, I'm sorry. Wrong thing, I guess. I'll think of something else.
No, I love it. It's just why.
Well, don't know, actually. I guess because you're finally starting to, I don't know, let some things out. I don't want to reward that.
But they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Try.
Why didn't you make something beautiful like that for someone that they deserve it?
Good one, and I give them.
Amrita made those bracelets. I didn't find them.
What?
Bracelet with the purple ribbon on it. She gave them to me and asked me to lie and say that she didn't make them when I gave them to you, but Amrita made them. And now that you gave me those gloves, I definitely can't keep that a secret anymore. I'm sorry I held it a secret.
You're good, Lorelei. You're fine. Stop making yourself believe you aren't.
With a very uncomfortable expression, Lorelei's going to put the gloves on and go downstairs.
You guys will get in a short rest overnight and
Nice.
Sweet.
be able to set out in the morning or
Cool beans.
discuss future plans. Do you
Yeah,
guys
fuck
intend
you
to set up any watches in the night or just slam the door shut? Lock
No,
it as
yeah.
best you can, and
Amrita's will definitely want to stay up for a while.
Yeah, Lorelei will take a watch as well, but she's pretty fine.
Asuriel will take a watch when there's no one else up.
I will take Amrita's watch with her.
Yeah.
Don't
Double
be
A's.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Cillian is silent during this discussion so that he can sleep through the night.
just not
He's
voluntary.
like, all right, I'm just gonna.
Rolls over, pretend to already be
Oh, I'm
asleep.
already asleep. I'm sorry.
Ah,
It's like, hey,
Val
what,
will
Cillian,
take
what
the
watch do you want
watches
to?
as well.
yeah.
So Val and Lorelei will probably be together.
Seems that way.
Why is Asuriel taking a watch alone?
Wanted to.
Yeah.
Wanted to.
Because when you wake up Cillian to take a watch with her, he just refuses.
Yeah, there we go. He's like, no, 5 more minutes.
Checks his
No, go
pulse.
fuck
He is
yourself.
dead.
Yeah. Oh.
Like a possum.
But yeah, so I guess the double A's could go first and
The
whatever.
batteries.
Yeah.
The double A's.
Yep.
During the watch, Amrita just watches Acrio beeline it for Lorelei's armor, pick it up, throw it over his shoulder, leave out the door. You don't see him the rest of the watch.
This guy.
Just like, where the fuck did he go? He's gone.
You just turn around and he's got like the Looney Tunes like outline of where he was standing before.
Yeah.
And he's just gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Amrita, she just takes out her book and gets her pieces of charcoal and glances at the others as they're all just sleeping for a moment, but like sighs to herself and then just goes back to drawing in it, but keeping a ear out.
You were gonna say something, Jake?
I was about to ask what Acrio was actually doing
Oh, okay. So
and how long
Acrio's-
to determine how long it takes.
Acrio's going to take the armor all the way back to the carriage and then bring the carriage to the waterfall. So the sound of... I think it can get that far if it doesn't have to cross the rocks.
It could, but you're gonna have to spend a good amount of time like hacking up underbrush and moving felled trees and
Oh,
you know,
God.
kind of
That's so
making
much
a path.
fucking... That's like a week of work, Jake.
It's a lot. It's probably gonna be dawn by the time you get it all the way to the waterfall.
Okay.
This path
I'll
has not
just-
been used in a long time.
I'll just walk. I'll just work where I am then. Yeah, are the horses still there?
Roll percentile.
I can't. Can somebody else?
Danielle, you do it. Your horse is the one that's most likely to die.
Yep. This is where Petunia dies.
This is for Petunia.
Yep. Please don't get 100. If I get 100,
Oh,
I'm
no.
okay.
Is that
No,
good
they're
or
all-
bad?
That was good.
No, low is
Fuck-
worse.
You fucker.
No, it-
You fucker. I'll kick your ass, Jake.
15%. Then yeah, they all are found safe and sound by Acrio when he finally trudges his way back down to where the forge wagon was left.
Okay. You said something about a short rest. Can we roll hit die then while we're watching or what?
Go ahead, sure.
Okay, I just need to roll 1.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that puts me back at whatever.
All right.
Full? Yes. Yeah, she'll just be sketching the whole time.
So, I believe I roll to try and upgrade something. First thing I've upgraded this entire campaign, and we've been playing this for how long?
Over a year. We're on session 43 today.
Yep, 43 sessions in, and the Forge Clicks never upgraded something.
You will need, I believe it's 5% currently for the worth of materials, which, let's see, that'd be 10% of 5, so 2.5 gold worth of materials.
Yeah, I think I have that about. I can channel divinity at it if I don't. And then I'll get that back on short rest anyway, so.
So just deduct 2.5 gold from your...
I'm actually going to deduct 34 and
Okay.
make 34 gold worth of, like, steel that my armor and Lorelei and most of the weapons are made out of? Do you... Iron? Are we on
You're
iron?
gonna shit ingots out? What's
I'm not.
happening?
Post the creation thing.
Channel divinity?
Yeah, whatever. Blessing of whatever it's called.
Make
Artisan's thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's just like poof raw material. Like it'll generate raw material in the process of making something, but I don't think it'll just like a stack of ingots just appear.
Hour-long ritual crafts non-magical item that must include some metal, just anything. It specifies simple martial weapons, suit of armor, ammunition, a set of tools, or another metal object.
Ingot's a metal object, I guess.
It is technically a metal object.
Okay, here's what I'll say.
Like, I could make a sword and then just immediately go ding, 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 and just use it for something
No.
else.
Make a religion check.
A religion check. I'm not good at that. I'm not very smart.
It's not a super high DC.
Alright.
Don't jinx him like that.
13.
So, yeah. I will say in this case, you're taking out some of the gold that you had found in that chest under the tower. It's almost like reverse alchemy when you're taking gold and converting it into something else. But with a prayer and enough focus, it does take an hour to do this, but it's not so much the metal, but it is the inherent value of it is just transmuted into raw material, into these pristinely, like perfectly molded ingots.
Do I lose value in conversion because the manufacturing process of making these perfect ingots would add cost to it? You know what? I'm gonna say I get 30
No, it's just,
and 4.
if it's 34 GP, it's 34 GP worth of ingots.
Sick. Okay. Anyway, besides that whole ordeal, I'm gonna spend time trying to upgrade. So, weapon and armor smithing. That'll be 5%, workload 15. So I will roll a Smith's Tools with strength.
Sure.
Or what would you...
I was gonna say strength or wisdom for this.
Oh, okay, I'll use wisdom. Hey! First upgraded item.
And she wears what had been leather armor, but you added these metal plates to make it into a brigandine. So it is a medium armor, but yeah. Effectively it is what's the first level? Fine?
-1 to critical hits.
With this work that you've done to seal up any of the gaps and thicken any of the plating where necessary and tailor it somewhat, it is probably going to take you several hours into the next set of watches before you can even begin to think about making your way back. But you think that while, armor protects except for when it doesn't, there will be a chance that some of the most vicious attacks that might hit this are less likely to be as devastating.
Nice. Yeah, he just, the first hour is getting the shapes and the geometry and all of that right, but then the next, 5 or 4 is spent every little detail carefully going over every little nook and cranny, every buckle, every bolt, making sure everything's where it's meant to be.
Can you make a constitution check?
Sure.
By the time this is done, you will be suffering a level of exhaustion, but you will be able to complete it by the time your eyelids are so heavy you can barely keep them open, and you're able to focus by the light of this bluish flame that you have simmering in the forge, but it's to the point you're mid hammer swing starting to nod off and catch yourself picking your head back up.
Yeah, then I'll probably make my way back mid-second watch.
How does Lorelei react when Amrita wakes her for the watch and Acrio's just gone? How does Amrita explain that?
I think he's just focused on his work. Maybe he's still bothered about the whole situation. Who knows? But I'm sure he'll be fine.
Okay.
He's capable.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna worry. Damn it.
It'll be alright.
Yeah, I'll let him get on with it, and if he's not back by the end of this watch, then I'll save my freak out for then.
Alright, well, I'll wake up Valerie. Maybe this is time to ask him to see if Dr. Mueller could help me with this behind the bandana.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always ask him.
Naruto head plate.
Yeah, Naruto. You can always ask
which is
Dr. Mueller when we get back to Sylvan. I mean, we are headed that way.
Yeah. And she goes over and like lightly shakes Val awake.
You would pretty quickly realize that Val seems to already be awake. Seems like he has trouble sleeping. Turns around,
Yeah, over there with Lorelei.
nods, and makes his way outside. Just giving Lorelei a wave, faint smile.
Yeah, she'll keep some distance, not like avoiding Val, but just like so they can cover ground perceptionally.
Can I have one or the other of you roll a d12, please?
Oh.
Do you want to do it? Or...
Yeah, I'll do it.
Cool.
I'll do it. Is that good? Is bad? Is it good? Bad? Friend?
Rocks fall.
Through the hours of your watch, patrolling somewhat, staying close to the tower, Lorelei likely with a desire, whether she acts on it or not, to head down the path toward the pass proper. There's a almost discomforting quiet above the trickling of this mountain stream and the crash of the waterfall. You hear bats occasionally just screeching in the distance as they make their way through the mountains. But where you might expect some nocturnal scavengers to feast on the corpse of this thing, it's like they're repelled, and nothing comes to feed on it.
But looking in that direction as well, I just want to look at where I'd manifested my night terror before. Half looking for it, half just pondering why it was doing that, because that's new.
There's still this dark, shadowy place where your light can't quite reach up on this ledge, but you don't see anything specifically there. It's just like something that feels like it's lurking. The rain continues. Still not heavy, but it feels as though it's likely going to pass in the night, and then by the end of your watch, it's almost like a mist has risen up.
During the watch, I think she's overcome with like nervous energy, and she doesn't really know where to put it. And so, looking off into the distance where her night terror had been, and sort of focusing on that for a second, she waves over to Val like she's going to excuse herself around the side of the tower for a bit, just like, like I'm going this way. And then she will head around the tower, and she's going to manifest the night terror directly in front of herself. Aimless, not trying to give it a shape, just to see what it does.
You focus on the space in front of you, still having this light from your dagger where you've cast it. It's almost like the shadows from behind you coalesce and then step around your cloak into the space in front of you. It is a black duplicate, seemingly, of yourself. And you hear this, it's like a sniffle, and then the sound of weeping.
Why now? Why is this happening now? Why does this look like this?
There's no reply.
She's gonna look it in the eyes, if it has eyes. Or where an approximation of eyes would be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's a duplicate of her, it's just, straight ahead. I don't know what this is. But I'm sorry? don't know why this is happening. I don't normally have nightmares about myself. Why? It's supposed to be things I'm scared of. Why is it me?
The figure steps a little bit closer, and then as if collapsing, you can't really feel it, but it just stumbles and wraps her arms around you. You can almost feel the tears on your shoulder.
Without really knowing why, she's going to hug this duplicate tightly, like she would want someone to hug her. We'll be okay. I think we're gonna be okay.
The shadows absorb themselves beneath your cloak.
Thoroughly weirded out, she's gonna walk back around the tower.
There is a set of stats that I will send to you.
Oh,
Hello?
no!
Hello?
Nothing honest about that.
Nope.
Whenever you get a set of stats, it's either really good or really bad. Either I've just got myself a me familiar, or I've just got myself a curse.
Why not?
There is a
Oh no.
dark gift from the Ravenloft book called The Living Shadow.
Oh god.
There are a few quirks that we will discuss later, but a couple of things beyond being able to amplify your night terror, because this is, in some ways, as far as you can tell, a fragment of your nightmares. Grasping Shadow effectively allows you to use it similarly to the way a mage hand would be used. You can send it out to interact vaguely with things.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna freak Cillian the fuck out with this.
And occasionally,
I mean, that's so cool.
very occasionally, if you don't have the night terror cantrip active in initiative, you're able to do a shadow strike, which is when you make a melee attack roll, you can increase your reach for the attack by 10 feet. So not to 10 feet, but by 10 feet, as the shadow will take hold of your weapon and continue it forward. Number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, regain all when you finish a long rest.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
And that's all you get to know about for now.
Reap the consequences. Out of character, the eye was also a dark gift, and look where that got us.
Oh yeah, no, this is so bad. I know, but
Yeah.
For now, it's cool.
Every
But,
time I roll a natural one, I'm fucked.
Ah.
I mean,
Because of one of those
sometimes you get
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody's
an odd
curse.
embellishing.
But
Who
like,
isn't
since
cursed
it's
in this
empowering my
party?
night terror a little bit, does this mean that when my night terror is active, that it also empowers my moon silver flail? I guess not. Because it's concentration.
No,
but
that's
yeah.
unrelated, so no.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I remember it was leveled spell, but I thought maybe because night terror is stronger now, it would maybe. Okay.
Still doesn't require you to channel mana to do it, so.
I can't holy bonk with that shadow strike. Then that's sad.
As you watch this thing fade into yourself and step back around the edge of the, I wouldn't say crumbling, but ancient tower, you start to see the lantern carried by Acrio coming back up the path.
Immediately relieved. She doesn't even really remember that Val's there, and she just runs down the path to meet Acrio. Where have you been?
Bags, under eyes barely open. Not his holy hammer is just tied to his hip while he's carrying like her set of armor. Just too tired to respond. Holds it out to her.
Shit for me. I mean, thank you. But go to bed.
After handing it to her, runs his hand over all the little pieces that have turned from that rough, forged look to a much more polished and blued. So it's like a dark blue steel, because we're fancy like that. And then just like reaches in, hug, kiss on the cheek, goes to bed. No response.
Looks at her own shadow like, did you see that shit?
Shadow hand comes up, gives a thumbs up to her.
High five my own shadow.
Oh, like thing from the Adam's Family.
Nice. Yeah.
Val's watching, just being like, these people are so fucking horny, I need to get out of here.
Val's just like,
You can do
the
it
fuck?
Yeah.
No,
Val,
but
like,
Val
just
is more.
yeah, she
restricted,
walks
so-
back, like holding her arm and just looking at Val, just like with that look that like she looks like, you know, like a school kid that's been caught like kissing their boyfriend around the around the back of the bike sheds, just like it's like kind of giggly about it.
Yeah, Val seems to be mostly like sunken into his own thoughts. It takes him a moment to like even properly register that Lorelei is there before blinking and a bit bewildered nodding, not really knowing what just happened because he didn't pay attention.
It's like, that's great, sweetie.
Yep,
We're all in
pretty
like
much.
fucking fantasy romance, and just Val sitting there like running through the traumatic events of his entire family dying, and he's like, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Well, thumb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh no.
we are having our Innistrad dating sim where your family died, dude. How cool is that?
Like, they hate it.
All right.
But speaking of the amnesiac, once it cycles round to the last watch, and Asuriel, who had basically passed out almost mere minutes after being patched up, looking half like a mummy at this point with so many bandages on her from Val's work.
She's walking a little stiffly as well with how tightly they were bound. Yeah, she'll go outside the tower and look up towards the window where the moonlight would be shining on her statue. And she'll kneel down and take that piece of parchment out and say to Aurelis again. Hi, it's me again. Asuriel. I know you're busy. I really need to talk to you. If there's a way I can see you, a place I can go to, or maybe if you can even come here. I'm at Sylvan Sister Tower. If anyone remembers it, I found out a few things. I just need someone from the Flight of Herons, perhaps, to talk to. If that's okay. I also need to say that I saw another angel die today. I don't remember her name, or at least I don't know it. At least I don't know if I ever knew her. Maybe she had a veil. We have her weapons. It's all that's left of her. She was saved by some monster, and the needles I passed, it's dead too now. You couldn't save her before that. I just, have a good night. And she'll stop and start journaling, writing down what happened today.
Well, it should be noted, not too long after being patched up and falling asleep, the effects of your witch stone would have kicked in, and when you wake up, you are blind in both eyes.
Oh yeah.
Or at least it's very blurry and hard to see, so it's like you can still hear fine, so it's like you can do a watch per se, watch and listen for anything. So it's like as you're praying this, you're not really even seeing the world around you, at least not clearly. It's more like you're reaching out to something else. You won't be able to write in your journal, at least for a while. Your vision's coming back, but it's still very dark. By the time the sun rises, probably able to see again.
That she'll just like sit outside the door and look around.
The world is cast in dark shapes, but there's this, as you had looked up, this beam of moonlight that you can almost see more clearly than anything else. And like a beacon, as you're concluding this prayer, there's no reply exactly, but you feel almost this warm sensation in the front of your mind, like moonlight in winter. And it's like this direction, like you can't see where where it is, but it's like it's pointing you somewhere. Almost the way you had felt that beam of mana off the strange cryptolith. But this is pure white.
Alright, she'll stare in that direction then. Try to figure out what that means.
There's no change to it. Nothing else appears, but as the sun rises on the horizon, you can start to make out shapes of the mountains and the clouds covering the sun itself in Stinsia. You realize that that is directly behind you, and whatever this beacon, which you can't quite see but you can feel, is in the due west.
Okay, she'll keep watching until everyone else comes out of the tower, enjoying her newfound vision.
Yeah.
Before that happens, Lorelei, it took some time to get back to sleep after you had this encounter with your watch, woken in the middle of the night. How far away would she be from Acrio, wherever he has curled up?
Maybe like 5 feet away.
Like
not
dude.
not directly like, not directly snuggling up, but close
Like-
enough that
like the
like
There's room
arms
for
arm's
Avacyn.
length. There's
Yeah,
room for
this-
Avacyn.
You have to put one of the Codex Angelorum in between you.
Yeah. There's room for Avacyn between them, yeah.
Acrio seems to pass out almost immediately, just chin on chest as he, starts to snore lightly. But when you finally do surrender to sleep, it's one of the least pleasant nights that you've experienced in a long time. And the thing you remember most is the maw, the flaming jaws of Riverax. But this time you're looking into them. It's Acrio being swallowed, and you reach down to pull him out. But no matter how hard you pull, he keeps slipping in. His body is consumed in flames until the gauntlet slips from your fingers, and that's when you wake up.
Wakes up with a scream. Yeah, it's sadly it's very close. So yeah, you get an earful of blood-curdling shriek.
As does everyone in this place.
Morning, Lorelei.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is out and about? Like, and Rita tries to go tries to go reach for her sword or something.
No, it's fine. I had a nightmare again. Sorry. That was.
So I was
sorry.
gonna run back in. Bro.
I had a nightmare again. Sorry.
Oh, I wasn't in it this time, was I?
No.
Okay,
it
good.
wasn't- it wasn't you.
I need to roll.
No, fucking don't roll for this shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Acrio's awake. If he was way too tired, he wakes up hearing Lorelei scream, and he rolls over just to set his hand on hers with a worried expression.
I'm okay. It was just another Riverax dream.
All right. Well, since we're up, let's get some breakfast and get on the road.
I need to put my shoes back on. Rita gets up and just stretches, popping her arms. Ugh.
The rain has ended, but the morning brings with it this heavy fog.
Yeah, Acrio will get a fire started in that same smoldering place from last time. He can't cook, though, so I hope somebody else knows how to.
That's
That's
not how one does that. You might want to switch that a bit around.
Yeah, he's putting his rations into the fire like an ingot to heat it up.
This reminds me.
Can for shits and giggles, Asuriel do some kind of roll to see if she can cook?
Sure.
Here, Amrita's trying to just freaking.
We'll make it a wisdom check.
Oh,
Straight
God.
wisdom. All right,
The
let's see.
wisdom of
Let's
the
see how that
gods
works.
to make a breakfast with eggs.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
It's interesting. It's not so much that you know, like, the process of using a skillet and the utensils and that sort of thing, but somewhere in the back of your mind you have this innate knowledge of how to prepare, like, the exact temperature you need to get set of meat to be, properly done, vegetables that need to be cooked a certain way to get rid of any, like, bacteria or toxins or anything like that. So it's like you can assist in that way just because you know exactly how they need to be. It's more like you know the end result more than the process.
All right, nice.
She just knows that whatever Acrio's doing is so wrong.
Yeah, Amrita's highly impressed, like, it's better than Lorelei that one time. No
I
offense.
said I was sorry.
It was a process. Try
How
and
was I
fix
supposed
that
to
a
know
while
wrapping
back.
something in a leaf wouldn't make it taste good? I don't make things taste good, I make it safe to eat.
What kind of leaf did you use?
Poison ivy.
Yeah, that's another story for another time.
Salt and butter, friends. It's mostly it.
Well,
Beat
butter
that.
seems like a commodity. Sort of salt.
Yeah,
char
I know.
adds
It's not
flavor.
often, but those are the things you need to make something like taste awesome.
The char adds flavor. And he,
Although I'd
pulls
skip on
he pulls his, the sausage out of the fire with, completely charred black, and he eats it like that.
It like crumbles, it's like charcoal.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, right. That smoky flavor.
Especially
Wonderful.
since there's, rib bones and femurs in this fire. We'll have you guys make everybody a survival check, DC 15. This will be for this point and then all the way up to Silvern.
Okay.
Did you
Okay, no.
How
Never mind. It
about-
feels like cheating now.
Go fuck
Um,
yourself. And
Ow.
you can't.
Tres, cuatro. Damn it.
Damn!
Oh, 1 sec. I get all my.
Come on, Acrio.
Right back.
Lorelei and Asuriel will both decrease one level of supply during this travels, wherever they may end you up.
I end up at Uno. Thank God.
Oh.
And yeah,
goodness I
hit
currently
dice
have
if
my
anybody
HP.
needs them, but
But yeah, while we are around the fire, Rita's gonna reach into her pocket and give this piece of parchment to Asuriel. Here, you can have this, or base off this thing I've done, and you can try and recreate it in your journal that you asked.
Oh, thank you. I'll get right to it.
Yeah. And whether or not she chooses to open it, it's whatever, but it's folded.
And
You
she'll
see-
open it discreetly.
you can see that Asuriel's eyes are still somewhat bloodshot, both of them, one worse than the other, and there's tear stains on her face. You're not sure if she was just the eyes watering from the curse on that stone, or exactly what caused it.
Acrio, do you know what's directly due west of here?
Due west?
I mean, vampires, right?
But apart from that,
Nothing really. There's mostly places people don't go.
anywhere friendlier then?
How much would I know, Jake?
I
History?
mean, sure.
What is this? We're here and she's talking west this way?
You're somewhere in this area.
Here, west this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it could be anything that way. Got it.
Potentially. I mean, yeah, you can make a history check, but Braylett is kind of southwest, and then the Farbog is more as far as you can remember on your hand-drawn maps, from your position currently, the most specifically west, past the Voldaran estate and everything.
Oh, hey, look at that.
From your position, for almost every human settlement in Stensia is to the west of you, in maybe not straight longitude and latitude, but most human settlements are to the west. Silburn is to the east, and then of course the south of you, but everything else is west.
Greylit, Shadowgrange, and Lamas.
Lamas and Presh. You could tell her the Farbog, human settlements, and then, as far west as Presh.
Yeah. I will take what the DM said, shove it through the Acrio filter, who can hand it to Asuriel.
I bless you with this knowledge, my child. And she'll nod to herself and be quiet again.
Any particular reason there, Asuriel?
I'm not sure yet.
Fine enough answer, I guess. So, are we going?
I guess we are. Nobody wants to give their hand to the vampire upstairs?
Oh no, but I do want to check something. I wonder if this would be prophesized, and I put a middle finger up to the roof, up towards him. He might know that I did that, and that'd be kind of funny that he'd have to write. Cillian puts his middle finger up to the.
It was super fancy and poetic. I wonder if he put a poetic spin on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Like the man raises his hand against the powers above him, something like that.
Yeah.
She was crossing her arms I'm not checking.
Singular finger erect.
Is there,
Finger erectus.
Is there another way to go besides across the river? Do we really have to go across the river again?
Don't fall. I mean, you could swing, you could chop a tree down and use that as a bridge. You could take the long way. I'm not sure what that is.
I forgot to mention that my rope was still around Monster. Could I have collected that again?
Sure. Yep.
Nah, shit's decomposed, bro.
It's definitely sticky though. It's definitely got some mushrooms on it.
Yeah, it's kind of gross, but it is still a rope.
Just power wash it.
I need that.
No, I guess it's fine if that's the only way we can go.
For a monster hunter, I'm surprised you aren't taking the skull. I always thought that's what hunters did. They chop the head off and hang it on a wall. My dad does that.
Monster hunters are of a different profession again. This is why you are Cathar, and my mentor recalled he had a few things, but
You would recall Garrick's cabin was adorned in bear pelts and wolf's hids and, deer antlers, but he made a specific point to never take trophies from his more monstrous contracts.
you never do such a thing with things like that, abominations. You can get coin from them, so perhaps this tooth here might be able to get something for it by saying that we took care of it.
We'll pack up and make our way back. Acrio's making his way back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And two.
Yeah, Amrita's watching from behind, just making sure there's nothing else lingering about.
Asuriel's probably holding up Amrita a bit because she's dragging behind. You see her, she keeps glancing in this very specific direction.
Amrita would probably walked over to her, but making sure they don't get too far from the others. You're thinking about something, aren't you?
Yeah. I feel kind of bad about it, but I think it might be necessary.
Do you want to go away?
I don't want to go away, but I feel like I need to go somewhere. I keep messing up and tracking you guys down. I feel as there's something I need to do.
Rita will kneel down and just look at Asuriel. I see nothing, but you seem to be seeing something. Maybe that's an angelic thing, who knows? But that's part of being human, I think, Asuriel. People mess up all the time, and they're not perfect.
But I'm not supposed to be, at least. I think I fight like I used to be, and that's just putting myself and all of you in danger. And there's so many questions I have, and I think there's someone I can ask, and it's not that vampire up there. I don't know how far they are, but I think I know the way.
I think Amrita will just... She stiffens, but she pulls her in for a hug. You and Lorelei talk way too much.
She's like, surprise hug, but she'll hug back. Maybe a little, yeah, I'm sorry.
I do not comprehend emotions so hardly often, so it's fine.
I don't know how to tell Lorelei this, though. I almost feel mean, even thinking about leaving.
I'll tell you something, Asuriel. I almost left before we even turned around to go to Braylet. I was going to leave and go to Hanwar in the middle of the night. When I got back, but somehow an annoying man convinced me to stay. As pesky as he can be.
Are you trying to convince me to stay?
No, I'm not going to do that because I think you have a right to find the answers to something. You know, I think that's why a part of me didn't know what to do when the eye started talking. Because I still don't know to this day how I came to be. But at least I know who I am now. And who my family was, even if they were not biological. But you still have a chance to figure things out. And I'd rather all of you. And like she finds herself like looking in the direction Cillian is like also walking and everything. It's, some people have things they want to go back to. I don't really have that. Few of us don't, but at least half of the people in this group do. And I think every one of them has a right to go back to it. Even you.
If you're sure.
I will support you in this decision. It is your decision to make alone. And she stands up.
Thank you, Amrita. I'll just go tell everyone else. She'll hurry up.
Yeah, and Amrita walks, lets her be by herself for a moment, and continues.
So when everyone seems to have reached the carts again and making sure that Connie's alright, she'll speak up very shyly. She's like, hey, hi, there's something I want to talk to you guys about.
Floor is yours.
I need to leave. Now. There's somewhere I need to go for answers as to how it got to be this way, and like this, I'll stop dragging you down. I'm not sure where exactly it is, I just have a strange feeling. I'm sorry. I feel mean leaving, but I think I really need to.
You don't want us to come with?
No. You guys have business to deal elsewhere. I don't even know where it is I'm going. Not really. But I know I'll be okay. I'll stay off the beaten path. Stay out of anything's way. You guys just go ahead to Thraben, wherever it is you want to go. I promise I'll try and come see you again. But right now I feel like I just keep putting you in danger. I think it's time for me to go. I am so grateful to have met you all. You've treated me so kindly. I was being mean in the tower, and I'm sorry about that. but I'm gonna miss you all, and thank you again, Acrio. She'll go ahead and hug him.
My arm.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. And he recovers and pulls her back in as she tries to pull away for another hug.
Thank you for finding me and not thinking I was evil or anything. And I'll give you your cloak back. Just take it off.
Keep it. You're gonna need it. You
Yeah.
can make another.
If you're sure. Thank you so much for everything, and take good care of Connie, please. He's a good horse, and don't let him end up like me. I'm going, and wait, and she'll go to Lorelei next and also give her a hug. I'd feel mean going without a hug at least.
Yeah, Lorelei had been like frozen for most of that, kind of stuck and not really sure of how to react, but as soon as Asuriel hugs her, she unlocks and just pulls her in really close.
And she'll go to Cillian as well. I still get your jokes, but you're still funny.
I pull her in the warmest hug I can, and I say, before I met you all, I was in a weird place, and I thought all innocence had left the world a long time ago. And you proved me so wrong. Everything inside me is screaming to stop you, but it is clear that you are so much more. You are so much more than us, than everything. And you can do so much good. And if this is that path, we cannot keep you from it. Though that doesn't change that I don't want you to go, and I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too. I promise I'll try and come see you again. And
you know, the best thing about being a Vistani is not the leaving, it's the knowing that you will see each other again down the road.
That's always a nice thought. Okay, I promise you'll see me all again. I'll see you, and hopefully everything will be better. And Val, thank you for saving my life and reattaching Acrio's arm. And she'll give him a slightly more awkward hug because they know each other a little less well.
Yeah, he's like a heartfelt, genuine hug, but also combined with that awkwardness because there wasn't that much interaction. But he'll just smile at her and writing down, handing the sheet of paper to her, and it reads, "Look after yourself and treat yourself kindly."
All right, you too. Really, don't go taking risks like that again. You were worried about you.
It seems to be a theme that we're all worth of worrying for. And I didn't believe that for myself, but I'll start to for you. You know, I take I have some weaver's things, and I take a piece of white string I have. And I make sure that it's the entire piece, and I cut it in half. And I put some around my own wrist, and some around yours. Vistani believe in the connection of family and the connection of things that were once one but are now two. I hope through this we will always be a little bit with you, and you will always be a little bit with us. Because even though we will become two, we are one.
Of course, I'll always carry you with me. So far, you're the only people I've ever really known. And you're really good people. I will miss you. And oh, I think I really need to go now before I start crying like a baby.
She says, tears already running down her face.
Oh, yes.
We'll make some friends.
I hope so.
Don't
It's gonna
forget
be
the
awkward.
sketch.
Of course. I'll keep it and like this. I'll remember all your faces. She'll pop her wings out. It's like, see you. She'll start flapping them, taking off into the sky directly in the direction she was looking at.
Oh, fuck.
Short Lorelei reaches up to the sky and is just like, wait, no. Finally saying something now that Asuriel's gone.
Amrita puts a hand on her shoulder and shakes her head. Something that needs to be done for herself.
Would it be out of character for Acrio to shout, and watch out for the pumas? I feel like that would be more Cillian than Acrio. So I'll leave that.
Yeah.
I'll take it from you then. I do that.
You hear a distant eep.
Hear a distant
See a mountain lion flying past her. Like, oh no.
soaring.
We feel rain start again, but it's not rain, it's just Asuriel's tears.
Oh, it's a terrible day for rain.
All right, let's get going to Silburn.
Oh, we're gonna have to go through that shithole.
Unfortunately, yes, if I want to fix my problem. Scratches at like the headband almost, but like leaves it be.
Oh, right, you've got a hole in your head. Yikes.
Belgium slowly turns like, what?
Yeah, Amrita lifts up the headband
Like,
a little bit.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
is
Amrita
this?
lifts up the headband a little
Oh,
bit, like motions
yeah.
to Val. It's like, do you think the doctor can help me with this?
Can you take a look at this? What the
For
fuck?
reference, there is like skin grown over it, but it's like soft and very scarred up. And if you
So it's like if you poke it, you know there's nothing behind that.
Yeah, there's no
It's
bone,
giving-
Like a
there's
baby
no
head soft
Okay,
spot.
yeah.
space right there.
Do I need to roll medicine for that to just assess what the situation is, or?
I mean, no, I think it's pretty clear.
Okay. Would the doctor be able to help with that?
I mean, he reattached a person's arm not too long ago.
Yeah.
Fair.
Possible.
Fair. Okay, yeah. After inspecting this, like, clearly freaked out. It's like a couple dozen questions running through his head, but eventually just writing, "We'll try to help."
This will be the only time I read this. You could have just nodded your head, maybe, or like, seriously, if you just like do something with your fingers or like the whistling, other than just writing.
I'll just walk.
Like a
with you.
Beginning to suspect Amrita's a slow reader.
She's not a slow
Dyslexic
reader, but it's
Yeah,
like the
like,
impatience. Fuck off.
Blinks as like Amrita's just like whistling. Is like not sure how that's gonna apply to any more sophisticated answers, but
Okay, let's just get a move on.
yeah, he'll just take his piece of paper and stow that away.
Well, I was planning on during the ride joking with Asuriel.
All these jokes
Like-
going through Cillian's head now. It's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I never got to tell that one. So instead
Val
I'll do it
can
with
potentially take over Connie, this pure white, like thoroughbred horse.
Ben gets his horse back.
Used to belong to a veiled cultist.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god,
That's funny.
That is
He
kind
does
of
funny.
funny. You get a
Yeah.
double hand-me-down of your own shit. How do you feel?
Can't be mad about it.
Val
'cause you
ran
don't know
into
yourself.
Bolton but didn't realize it wasn't just an old man.
Yeah. Yeah, Amrita's busy putting her boots back on and checking on Petunia. How is Petunia looking, by the way?
Not worse, but still, she looks old.
Looks like, does she look like she's gonna die soon? Like,
Make a nature check, I guess.
oh god.
What happened
She's gonna
to
be like
her?
one of those
She's
like
old.
grandparents.
Like I bought her when she was old, so she's going to die of old age.
Got a
It's
gonna
dis-
be
been
one of-
like
I mean, yeah.
a week.
No,
You
because
don't
we've been
know-
gone for a while, and she was already old, like in Corsiva. That's why he gave her for cheap. The guy gave the horse to Amrita for cheap because she was old, mare to begin with.
Well, yeah, I know that, but horses don't age 30 years in like a month.
Well, it's 'cause she didn't.
This horse does. It is a cursed horse.
Yeah, it was.
Well, how
born,
Jake was
like-
talking about her
First
last
of all,
time, like her
horses
roots are
don't. I
starting
don't
to
think
show.
horses live 30 years.
Yeah, so
I'm not sure the lifespan, but
it's not very much.
with a 10, it's really hard to know for sure, like gauging the lifespan of an animal. Like, you know that she's old and, you know, just progressively getting weaker, but how long that might last it's almost impossible to know for sure. She
Okay.
doesn't seem ill, just road weary.
Okay.
This is the red herring of the campaign. Petunia's going to outlive all of us. She's like that grandparent that just refuses to die.
All right, and off we go.
Can what? It's like, did we already pack up or?
I mean, you could. Amrita's travels like ready to go, so she's like on her horse ready while your guys, the rest of you, are packing up.
Does the horse have saddlebags?
It does, yeah, or at least one bag on the side. Yeah, it's got a full saddle and tack and everything.
Would it be possible to like slip a piece of paper into one of the bags?
Just to clarify,
Yes,
you're talking about
everybody's-
Connie or Petunia?
The horse of Amrita.
Amrita
doesn't
does
have
not
a saddle
actually.
or
She rides
bags.
bareback.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Oh.
she doesn't even have
Yep.
a saddle
Oh,
or
whoops.
reins or anything. So
Never mind.
probably not.
Okay.
I can't
Okay, I thought you were
afford
talking
a
about-
saddle right
Oh,
now.
you're talking
So
about Asuriel's horse.
Okay. No. Okay. Gotcha. Never mind.
yeah, sorry.
It's a thumbtack.
Got to slip it in her boot.
Yeah.
Slip it down the back of a shirt.
Yeah.
Into the
It's like
right place.
kick me.
Wow.
It's like Cillian sees it the entire ride.
Dude, this is my girl.
Yo!
He's like, yo, you don't understand. I'm sure he can figure out a way later on. She has like a bag, but
Yeah, she has a good backpack and everything for traveling. The ride down the Needle's Eye Pass is otherwise uneventful. What is the party, but Val's specifically, reaction when you pass the remnants of this Vistani caravan, weathered and picked over by animals and that sort of thing at this point, but at the same time knowing that the reason it is destroyed has also been avenged.
First off, are there like any bones left, or is it just wreckage like carts and shit?
it's probably also
There-
scorched.
There would
'cause-
have been some corpses that were picked over, some of which were dragged off.
Also,
Yeah.
Lorelei scorched one last time. You weren't there, but obviously,
Yeah.
but she had to scorch
One of them had reanimated and got
Oh.
flamed.
Yeah, I mean, whatever human remains there would be, Val would like stop and wrap them up into like a large cloth to
I would
just
say-
take back.
You had passed over through this the first time you were heading toward trying to find this creature. So
Oh.
you probably would have collected up any remnants and stuff
Okay,
like that,
cool.
human
Yeah.
remains at that point.
Okay,
but if
cool,
you
cool.
wanted to, if they were bundled
Okay.
up, you want to take them back to Silburn, that's
Yeah.
potentially an option.
Okay, cool. Then he just stops and looks at the remnants of the destroyed caravan. There is very intense, deep sorrow on his face. Tears gathering in his eyes. But he's also at the same time, even though, the grief, the hurt is there, he somehow managed to, the party managed to dispatch off this creature that killed his family, his relatives. He honestly didn't think that he would go that far, that he would get that far. And he is very much left with the question of, what do I do now? Like, what I tried to do didn't work. It also did work in a positive way, but he's not quite sure how to move forward from that. He needs time to like figure out what to do now, because he already crossed off any options that he might have had left off the list. And now he's presented with more options. But in the end, he lets out this very gentle sigh as his body seems to lose a lot of tension, and Cillian or anybody that is looking at him would probably see that he's, for the first time in probably since they've met, they see Val smile a genuine smile, one that isn't put on, one that isn't forced. It's very faint, but it is there.
Oh, then.
Eventually he breaks free from the side and rejoins the others.
Any geists lingering, Jake?
There are not. I believe it was Cillian who was introduced to Val's project back in Silburn, not far from the graph, where he was burying these trinkets, mementos. Whether or not they specifically belonged to his family seems to have been irrelevant. The fact that there was some kind of ritual with a memoriam to lay them to rest seems to have done something.
I wait to mention this until after we're gone from this place, but I do eventually.
I will say, for the next day, could you give me a perception check with advantage, Cillian?
Can I use my inspiration to give him disadvantage?
The professional
Just by
hater.
having such an inspiringly large dumpy that it takes up all of his peripheral vision.
Yeah.
What?
You
I
remember
got
that.
that armor dumpy.
Oh, wow. Also, I just remembered, too, that Cillian would have, like, the trinket Amrita found from Val's family, by the by. But it was, like, tobaccos or something. Not tobaccos. It had tobacco in it and some kind of initials.
There
don't
was,
remember.
a tobacco pouch with Gavany tobacco in it with the initials PV on it. Very fine, velvet.
I think in this moment, it's like Val's put it behind him, or is putting it behind him in this moment. I don't think I need to add anything onto that. So I just keep it, I guess.
Yeah.
Down your family in a way.
Yeah, just wanted to, like, note that out of character for a second, because I was like, oh, yeah.
See, like, Cillian starts smoking a pipe. It's like, good shit.
That's not weed or cigarette. That's
Is that
my
a weed?
family's ashes.
Wow.
Oh, God. That's how Vistani do things. We smoke our dead.
Yeah.
At some point the next day, Cillian is the only one who can hear this, what sounded at first like maybe a rock dropping, like hitting the side of metal maybe?
Ooh.
And then you hear another, like, ting,
Ooh.
ting, and it just sounds like somewhere, and it's not quite in the real world, there's a pickaxe hitting stone.
Herobrine.
I think I picked up the ring from him. It's in my inventory. I just cross my thumb over it. Hope you're finding your silver, buddy. And I move on.
When you finally reach the end of the Needle's Eye Pass, where it opens up to the main road, not far from Silburn.
I'm singing the song. Did we pass the prisoners again?
Yeah, you would have been. Yeah, past the quarry where I would think at this point you would see a bunch of like carts and wagons that would have been loaded up, and if you would so choose, you can inform the Cathar guards that the pass has been cleared.
I am approaching these carts filled with what you said was really high quality marble.
I believe I said it was granite.
Granite. I think that's what my hammer's made of. Or is my hammer made of marble? Okay.
It's your hammer, you tell me.
I don't know, it's fucking made of something.
It's probably made of alabaster, actually, but...
Oh yeah, alabaster. Okay, never mind. Let's keep going. Actually, no, I want to buy some nice rocks. Can I go up to one of the Cathars and just very awkwardly be like, could I buy some of your rocks, please? Not in that way.
Immediately getting arrested.
Look over at your, massive forge cart billowing with smoke out the back. Looks like you can haul it how much you want. We're planning to get a pretty good price off it, but it's church money, so Cathars should have first pick, I suppose.
Any particularly nice cuts you... Acrio is like fucking sweating beads. He doesn't know how to interact with people, asking them for quarried stone. Like 6 of those blocks. Nicest ones you have. Any that look particularly nice?
You planning on putting up a homestead? Starting a church?
No, not at all. No. I make things.
And, most of this, we got pre-contracted to sell off to the Hillcrest Ranch, but I suppose, as I said, Cathars can get first pick. Got a few decent cornerstones quarried out.
Okay. Well, I'm sure the Hillcrest family would be more than happy to know, even just a little bit, is going to a good cause.
By the way, Cillian's been standing next to this, sort of bewildered that Acrio's talking about stone and not that the danger of the Needle-Eyes Pass is now gone. By the way, the thing that's probably been killing people here and all through the Needle-Eyes Pass, the reason why it's dangerous, it's no more. He slew its ass.
That creature. That we've had a few folk go missing, mostly prisoners, but had a Cathar go down. That was a couple weeks back. Never got to look at it. It was invisible. How'd you slay it?
Amrita pulls out like the tooth as proof, and just like looks at the others, just like,
And gets up close and looks at it. Damn. Well, lessons on you.
It wasn't easy.
And I'll ask for Amrita as Cillian has filled in my words. Do you know anybody who might have put a bounty up on that creature?
We're going to Silburn now. Oh wait, you're asking them. Wait,
yeah,
why did you say Amrita? Oh, why'd you say Amrita then? I'm so confused.
Because Cillian said what I should have said, and so I'm going to say what you should have said.
What is happening?
Confusion.
These
buy rocks, damn it!
Asuriel's gone, okay? We're kind of emotional.
Asuriel's gone. We've all fallen to shit.
She was the party face the whole time.
Yeah. She was the glue.
Yeah, this Cathar would tip back his tricorn hat, scratch his hairline. Well, I can't say there was a bounty exactly. We didn't know what it was. Nobody really ever got a look at it. I'm sure the risks you put yourselves through, if that's true, taking that thing down is probably worth something. Speak to the parish blade down in Silburn or Corsiva. Corsiva, you'd probably get a more generous donation from the church, I'd say.
Silburn is more our destination, but appreciate the gesture. Let's continue, please. She tells to the others and goes on. The mention of Corsiva just
whistle sharply to some of the shackled convicts to unload some of the quarried granite and stack it up in the however they're going to get it onto this massive cart.
Yeah, just he just tells them to because I'm guessing they're struggling carrying these giant blocks. He's just watching them try and lift it up over their heads and onto the cart, he's just like, I'll do it.
Mostly like a 4-man operation where they have these beams, heavy wood beams that they slide under it, you know, and everybody hoists it up on the shoulder. So they're
like
fairly
coffin
large stones,
dancing.
enough that it, you know, like I said, it takes 4 laborers, indentured laborers to foist it up there. But yeah, they'll be able to get it, but you can definitely help.
Once that's loaded up, just onward.
Keep
Thank
singing
you,
your
good
song,
sirs.
folks. It's a good one.
Eventually you will reach the end of the Needle's Eye Pass where the... Can I have everyone make a nature check? Well, everyone who's present.
So smart.
Crying about Cage.
A nature check?
Yes.
Yes, boy.
What if I don't want...
You don't have to if you don't want to.
It's y'all know.
Alright, well now I'm not doing it.
Jake holding a gun.
Lorelei
Do it.
and Acrio, you catch a strange smell in the air. Not 100% sure why it seems different. It definitely smells... I think Lorelei would recognize it as some rot, but not like animal rot. It's more just like decomposing plant matter. Amrita and Val would be the only two to notice that the Farbog seems closer to the Needle's Eye Pass than it was. That marshland seems to have widened faster than normal. Bogs take forever to decompose and absorb the earth. So it seems odd that, you know, you look to the southwest and you can definitely see the edge of the bog, which first time you went up the Needle's Eye Pass, it was too far away to really especially smell, let alone see where the trees and stuff have started to collapse in and rotting on themselves.
Yeah, definitely avoiding that, but smell is just like, she puts like her hand over her nose. Ah, wow.
How smart am I?
You often say you're
Yes.
not a smart man.
Plus 1, apparently.
Smarter than average, apparently.
Yeah.
Only just.
What do I roll for memory?
Depends on what you're trying to remember.
Gotta be history, right?
The giant blue beacon that ran through the mountain onto the other side, that was the South Farbog, right?
It would have run through the bog, however, not at this point. You're much further north.
Oh, yeah.
It
We're
would be-
much further north, but we're never going to travel this way again, but...
You can
No.
make another brief detour if you want, or head on to Silver, and it's your choice.
Why are you guys all scrounging your eyes together like you're smelling something terrible?
It's just
You don't smell it.
something odd with the... It's usually not that far, I don't think. I don't know. That's not my dealings, but...
Points, like indicating that it's getting bigger.
Bog will fly away? Why does everything keep flying away?
No, I think...
No,
Kind of
he
gets
means
out
that-
his pen and
He
paper.
means that... No,
No,
he means that
no,
it's
no.
expanding. It's expanding.
Oh,
That's unsettling.
yeah, it is.
Wasn't like that when we left, right?
Yeah, like 6 weeks ago.
All right, I'm gonna roll just a straight intelligence check.
Would it be feasible for the fog to expand during that time frame?
I mean,
Like in
a
to this
bog?
extent?
A
Yeah,
bog?
sorry.
Not really.
Yeah.
You know, bogs
Okay.
are centuries, if not millennia.
Yeah.
old. Yeah, they
So it's
don't,
an
they don't just
unnatural
start
development.
consuming parts of the landscape within
Okay.
6 weeks.
Big stretch, and Acrio's just gonna go into like his pinboard shit. Okay, stone grew up out of nowhere, magically
Yes.
appeared like 6 feet tall, weird as shit. Blue line pointed towards the mountain, went over the mountain. We didn't follow it, but it ended, or it went into the Farbog, the South Farbog. Possibly. It could have gone past it, or it could be right dab in the center of it, and that's also causing the Farbog to grow.
Yeah, you're probably right. Is it our job, though?
No, we're going to
could be.
Silburn. No.
We could go to Stillburn and then loop back.
Like I said,
Right.
you can see the edge of the bog, so it's like definitely within riding distance within an hour or so.
I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, but no.
I can be convinced.
Split the party.
Don't you know? You
Even more
always
so
split
than
the
with
party.
Asuriel's side mission.
I mean, how would we how would we verify it if we went there?
Yeah, it's probably just a bunch of dead stuff.
I mean, it'd take 10 minutes, but I could probably try and detect magic when we get there to see if maybe it
maybe the
feels
entire
like
far
it.
bog is.
Yeah, maybe we can sense it. I don't know.
I'm tired of I'm tired of being pulled around. Not to mention that a full moon will be coming soon, and I can fucking feel it. Ah, no, angels. I'm sorry. I can't deal with this. I need to just get to Silburn, right?
Yeah, that's where my vote goes to. I'm sorry.
All right. I pull an Asuriel and I just start running for the.
You better fucking not.
Yeah, Amrita just she starts to ride in that direction, but she just feels like part of herself barely gripping, and she stares at her right hand, it's shaking a bit, and it freaks her out.
Can we just? This is the most eager Amrita has ever been to go into a town. Normally she's eager to
yeah. So I think
now she really wants to go into
on.
one. This is new.
Yeah, think about it.
I would say with a 16 intelligence roll, Acrio, you know you're only a few hours from Silburn anyway. So a little detour, probably wouldn't even be sundown if you were to explore for a while and then head back. You don't have to all stay together.
Hey, Lord.
Assuming you don't die.
Assuming we don't die.
Assuming we don't die.
I can see the. Okay.
Check
If
it
you
out.
want to go to the bog, I'll go with
It's
you.
fine. I'll send
Duos.
Dragon along so he can come back if anything happens.
Yeah, you guys go
Perfect.
ahead to Silburn. If we're not back in,
You can basically see us from the road.
yeah, if we're not back by I don't know a
Sundown.
time where you feel appropriate, then we're dead.
When your paranoia sets in, we're probably dead.
Mm-hmm. No
I love
staying
how
up past
Wait.
dark.
But luckily, if we die in a bog, bodies rarely decompose in there. The conditions are just right that a body will stay pretty much undecomposed for a really long time in a bog.
Lorelei, please.
Sorry.
I love how Lorelei is not come looking for us, but just we're dead.
No, but it's if you find us, we won't be totally grossed out. We will stay pretty easy.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be able to.
We'll look
even-
nice in our caskets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be intact, probably, unless something's torn us to pieces by then.
Val will just gently nudge Lorelei's cut that out.
Oh,
It's like-
okay.
All right. I'll
Who
detach.
who gets custody of the current whitehead child?
Val is like, what the fuck?
Where are you going?
I'm a
Just point, Val.
grown-ass adult.
Points towards Silburn.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Get Amrita straight to the doctor and get the head looked at. Get that.
That looks very anxious, but not.
We'll catch up.
Yeah, so I'll hop off the forge cart and then hop on Lorelei's horse. Poor horse.
He's just like.
Back's broken. Get a new horse.
The holy hammer is light for Acrio, not for a horse.
And the hammer isn't even the the most of the horse's concerns.
You realize
Dumpy
too
thick
late,
clerics
this is
on its back
Petunia.
now.
Oh dear.
All
Lord.
that ever since the fucking cheese massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since the cheese massacre, the clerics have doubled in size.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Asuriel had to give up her reconnection with cheese.
Heartbreaking.
We get
Oh.
to Silburn and we just see Asuriel scarfing down cheese.
cheese full like a hamster. Please
It's
don't
like
tell anyone how I live.
Yeah.
Asuriel, why are you here? It's like this was my holy journey.
The real reason she was crying was because she knew she wouldn't get to eat the cheese.
Yeah. But yeah, riding back to Silburn this whole time, Amrita's just busy speaking angelic words to herself, cool it and everything, and calm down. But she's been just a little bit frenzied in that moment.
We'll put a beat to it.
Val will ride up to her, seeing that she's, sort of dealing with something. He doesn't really know what's the cause of it, but he'll reach into one of his bags and produce what is a flask that he hands her. If she opens it, she would get hit by the smell of strong liquor.
Oh, no thanks, Val. I don't care for liquor all that much.
I mean, if you're offering.
Give it to him.
Val was like, looks at Amrita, but then reluctantly hands it over to Cillian.
Cillian's
I drink-
I might turn into a werewolf too. I don't know.
I drink too much. Like, it's not polite.
It's like, he gets
Okay.
it back, it's like 3/4 gone. It's like, cool.
I have not drank anything since, like, there's one time I really regret it. It was when someone died, so that's another thing.
Makes his hands like jitter slightly and then points to Amrita to indicate she's, nervous, anxious, whatever. And then taking the flask, takes a small sip and then holds out his hand as it's steady, now no longer jittering, indicating that it helps with the nerves.
It's not what I need, Val. I'm just tired of being holed up. But thank you.
Yeah, he pockets it then.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff, Al.
There's a look of pain on his face as he realizes how much Kenita's drank.
Never mind. That was a bad idea. Never do that again. I'm sorry.
Man starts to go off the rail a bit. Wait, what? Acrio and Lorelei, what is your plan as you're heading down the road toward this bog?
When we get within actually, I'll probably when we get within a few minutes of it, I want to start ritual casting detect magic, so that when we get there, I see if there is anything there.
Sure.
So it'll take some time to get there, so I'll stagger it so that pretty much almost as soon as we arrive, I will have it. I will have my eyes open and my senses.
I'll ritual cast. You know what? I won't cast detect magic. I will ritual cast detect poison and disease. I don't know why I have that prepared, but I do.
I think maybe you might have prepared that for when we were in Braylet and you just never unprepared it.
I think that's the case.
Or headed to Hanweir, which the doctor believes the plague in Thraben has reached as far as there, so might be a good idea to keep on hand. But with both of those senses opened, I'll have you both roll investigation checks with advantage.
Okay.
Lorelei,
you can roll Arcana with advantage if you prefer.
Both of mine are the same, but I'll do Arcana just because it sounds cooler. They're both the same for me. I'm not very smart or good at either of those.
16.
There's a buzzing in the air that at first you attribute to these flies and gnats that are swarming. As you get closer to the bog, the heat of the day has passed. It's still humid because there's no direct sunlight in Stensia, but always that, especially during the harvest moon, you know the sun is closer and there is a heat, and the fog that burned off in the morning just turned to humidity in the air. But you feel that hum is not specifically from the insects that you're having to swat away. There's something else, but you can't quite pinpoint it until Acrio. It's not quite a poison or disease situation. You feel obviously there's toxic plants and microscopic bacteria swarming in this place, but what you do catch sight of is this stone twisted shape with this almost beak-like flat top.
Another flat top. Oh.
Oh, that's some fuckery. No.
Oh,
Oh, is that one a different color? Is it?
Yeah, it
a
is.
different color?
People who know the magic storyline are like, oh no.
Oh, dear.
Don't spoil
Oh,
this.
no.
Don't spoil
Alright,
it.
just looking at the image is enough, so. No.
Tap Lorelei on the shoulder and then just reach my hand out past her head and point towards it.
No way.
Knew there was something there.
Your horse can't quite get close enough because of so much, bog water and fallen trees and that sort of thing. There was a forest here that's now seems to have been stripped of its leaves, as if all the trees had died suddenly.
I'll get off the horse and help Lorelei down. Do we want to get closer to it? See what kind of magic spewing from it?
Do I get any kind of magic sense from the immediate, perimeter of the bog?
You would, especially once you're aware of this cryptolith. There seems to be something running through the ground, either a ley line or a ley ring, but it's not blue. It's not that perfect creation magic. This is consuming and selfish.
Oh no. This is different. This is really different. It's a really consuming magic. I don't think we should get any closer.
Everything looks dead around it, but
yeah, who's to say
why'd the bog
feet
get
aren't gonna
bigger?
I don't know. Maybe when the blue things, the blue one sprouted up, maybe this one sprouted up at the same time, and that's the time frame that this bog's been expanding from. I don't know why, but is it pointing the same way? Can we tell?
It's always difficult to orient yourself because you can't really see the sun, but you're fairly certain it's also pointing in an eastwardly direction, the same as the first one you had located.
Is there... Acrio's gonna nod to the we shouldn't go in there and get back on the horse and talk on the way back. Because now he's not interested in, something being a location coming from it, but more something or someone pulling from these places.
What if there was more of them?
Maybe
in, different places, and
maybe
they're all pointing, triangulating on one place. I don't have to think where.
It's just so weird that the bog got bigger.
Maybe this will probably make more sense if we find more. But what if? Because that first one was blue, and it was all about what that blue mana stands for, right? So it's creation and there's straight lines, and I mean, I'm not a scholar, but And then this one, it's a completely different vibe. What if each one, there's a different one sprouting up all over the place, each representing a different kind of magic? I don't know. Maybe there's a really fiery one somewhere. I'm not sure.
Where are they all pointing to?
I don't know. East of Stensia is not really a specific location. Doesn't narrow it down much. There's a lot there.
I almost wish we still had Asuriel, because she was good with maps.
Well, once I get my spells back, I'll be able to contact her. I should ask her if she's seen any more.
Yeah. No, maybe we could mark them down on... Best I have is this, and he pulls out a piece of paper that it looks like someone just roughly drew the roads and general locations of things. Yeah. Maybe we'll find more.
And I hope they're not pointing to something bad.
No, I'm sure it's perfectly good.
Hey, on the bright side, at least you were right about there being something in the bog.
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't want to go over there and take the top of it.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's in the middle of a bog, which is already not fun to walk through. And the whole magic vibe is just
It could immediately kill me.
It could immediately disintegrate your foot as soon as you step into it. You don't know.
Yeah, well, we had Asuriel, we could just fly over there, but... Alright, we'll leave it.
You're not taking the Forbidden Bog Rock.
I want to take the Forbidden Bog Rock. Yeah. And he says this as they're already making their way back to Silburn.
Yeah.
They've already left it 20 minutes behind. Yeah. So we'll head back to Silburn. Amrita and the two Vistani are able to ride back into the town. As you're passing the fields, these tall cornfields, you notice there's people actually working them, going through the rows, pulling out vines and weeds and such that have grown up in them, far more people than you'd seen working the first time around. And there's this sense on the edge of the fields, they look up at you like very curt nods, if they even acknowledge that you're traveling past. Everybody's like, brushing sweat from their brows and obviously in the midst of labor.
Yeah, Amrita's quick to get off Petunia when they get to the door and probably enter the town and everything.
The gates are open in midday, although you know it's getting closer to evening. The harvest moon is the longest daylight hours, so you still have several more until it really gets dark.
Yeah, how's the tower doing as we pass it?
As you pass the Tower of Silburn, it doesn't look any better, but it's not any worse, certainly.
Okay.
Cool.
There's still this mist coming off of the lake nearby it. You almost have to wonder if the Farbog encroaching in this area has just meant that the saturated ground is trying to consume the tower as well. But you don't have any real specific evidence of that. But as you enter the town itself, and Cathar guards don't exactly welcome you in, but are a welcoming committee for you. You hear a voice familiar to you say, "Ah, you have returned."
Almost.
You! I didn't forget you, of course.
It's the parish blade, Casper Lowe.
Casper.
Oh, that's what his voice sounds like. Why do I think his voice sounds different?
Yes, he has a bit of a Thraben accent.
Oh.
As he's
got
this
I didn't hear the French.
large silver-tipped spear with the symbol of Avacyn worked into it. His blue uniform, silver button, very nicely pressed. His hat straight.
Good day, Mr. Lowe. It is wonderful to see you again.
I wondered if you would ever make your way back this direction.
Well, we've survived somehow. So, big update. Creature needle-sized pass, no more.
A creature, you say?
Yeah,
I had wondered. We heard reports of caravans going missing and such.
Yeah, Rita will present like the tooth and hold it up. This was in the mouth of it. One of it.
What was it?
An abomination.
Big story. Like, sort of vampiric, sort of not.
I would love to hear this story if you have time. First, though, because you have returned, I should say, Miss Mablethorne, I have a post for you. I took it from the post office. I wasn't sure if you would ever make your way back. I have it at my homestead for safekeeping.
Oh, okay. I post. Really?
Yes, were you not expecting anything?
I must say I was not, but if you could, I guess, give that to me before I go to the doctors, that would be good.
Yes, you do all look rather worse for wear.
I take that as a negative thing. I look awesome.
Well, I mean, I suppose it is battle scars from this creature. Everyone has a story, does it not?
Mm.
Oh, and quite a one you will hear after we've read some post.
You can tell me on the way.
Yeah, let's hurry up then.
I will say the house has become a little more gloomy since you left, and the young woman whose name I forgot.
Myra,
yes.
Damn, my memory feels
I was like, shit, I forgot.
How dare you?
It's like they're working now, but everybody in the town now has dementia.
But yeah.
Yes, since the young Myra had to travel on, it's more quiet than I was expecting it would be.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, though.
It is the way of things.
I think she was.
When this post arrived, I almost hoped it had been an update, a letter from her, but alas. This way. And he will open up the house and rummage around a little bit on one of his bookshelves through some of the books. See it is. Hand that over to Amrita. And you find this folded parchment with this simple black wax seal on it, no crest, just sealed shut, and your name written in this almost flamboyant calligraphy.
Yeah, she will open it and begin to read it.
Uh-oh.
I'm so scared.
Uh-oh.
I'm so scared.
Oh.
I knew it.
No.
Would Val and Cillian look over? Well, you can't really look over her shoulder because she's way too tall for that. But peer around her as she's reading.
Yeah, she's
There's
like
not a
trying
chance
to
in
walk
the
around
world.
reading it.
Out of curiosity, yes, but if Amrita, like, turns away because she wants to read it herself, then he would not try to sneak a peek.
Even if she turns away, I will find a way to read what the fuck this is.
Holy crap, I almost can't read one of those words for a second, but it's fine.
The signature looks like it says repetum.
That's the font.
Yeah. This is everything's
Doesn't
fine.
she always?
Like,
What
after
else?
after Amrita reads that, she's just like, oh shit.
Amrita, as you are finishing reading, you're the only one who sees there is this, like, mist that comes up from the paper, this, like, deep green fog that comes off of it, almost making you want to drop it. But you hold it in place, and then from it, this secondary script starts to glimmer over the face of it. Cillian and Val, you read it, and you're still making your way through it at an angle. You don't see anything different, but there is this illusory script that appears only to Amrita's eyes.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Scripts!
Let me see this.
Illusory script!
Oh, what a
Holy-
cool way he did this.
Damn.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Jake, you're making this very long for me to read. It's cool, but holy crap.
Well, don't worry, because this is where we are going to drop the curtain on this week's session. So you have time to read.
Whoa. Whoa. What?